Hi, I'm Marvin Kemp, CSI Board Chair.
And I'm Mark Dorsey, CSI's CEO. Welcome to CSI's first virtual annual business meeting and member forum. Marvin, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Mark. The Great Recession of 2008 was a watershed moment for me individually and for the construction industry as a whole. I had only been with my current firm for 3 years, and I watched as 25% of the firm's work evaporated overnight. We were slow to act, but ultimately reduced our workforce by 40%, and those who remained took 15% pay cuts in 2 installments. It was a tough time for construction professionals all over. Throughout that period, CSI was a point of stability for many of us when everything else was uncertain. Why? It was then, as it is now, because of the people in our community. The CSI community strives to be open, inclusive, and sharing. This community helped many of us reimagine our careers, supported and deepened our strengths, and pushed us to new heights during that difficult time. I was one of those who needed that network for the very first time. And I can think of countless members whose phones rang literally within hours of their having been laid off with offers of new jobs. I never lost my job through the Great Recession, but I always knew who to call if I did. And now we find ourselves together in a different version of 2008 with the added stress of the pandemic. Some of us are experiencing layoffs. Some are wondering if layoffs will come. And we are all wondering what will happen next. Those of us in the CSI community who reimagined careers in 2008 are showing others how to do that now. Those of us who used our CSI network to find work in 2008 are showing others how to do that now. Those of us who worked hard to show our worth to our employers in 2008 are showing others how to do that now. CSI is a strong community of personal and professional support, and that's why I'm proud to serve you as CSI Board Chair. 70 years ago, we set out to enable architects, engineers, and contractors to communicate more effectively. That effort became the numbers and titles that enable professionals to organize, communicate their designs to the whole project team. We continue to improve project delivery, support product representatives as trusted advisors, educate and credential thousands of professionals every year, and our standards and formats are the bedrock of designs and specifications in North America. Yet by the turn of the 21st century, CSI was in trouble as an organization. We were struggling to maintain members and maintain relevance in our industry. I have heard from some of you that we are seen as out of touch. We are slow to adapt, too rooted in the past, and that we are not connected to the industry as a whole. And for some of you, this may ring true. But what else can be true? We are teaching and mentoring each other and our next generation of design and construction professionals in the right way to conduct our business. We are at the center of every design and construction project, helping solve problems each and every day. We are constantly working to improve communication within our project teams and in the adversarial relationships that have hounded our industry for far too long. Yes, we have seen membership decline, but our credentials continue to prepare increasing numbers of professionals for work in our industry every day. Industry leaders know that, so we test over 1,000 CDT candidates each year. And because of our standards, formats, and certifications, our members are working with leaders in design and construction and technology across our industry. I've heard from members who want to go back to when we were 18,000 members and had 10,000 attendees at our trade show. I attended those trade shows and they were exhilarating. The ice cream socials and packed trade show floor cemented my love for CSI. Networking with and learning from professionals across the industry encouraged me to become more involved in CSI leadership. While we might long for past glory, the Great Recession and now pandemic have reinforced there is no path back, only the path forward. Our industry has changed. Not for good or bad, it has just changed. And CSI is changing and evolving too, and that is both uncomfortable and exciting. Yes, the future is unknown, but I do know that we cannot simply visit our future, we must create our future. We must create this future together. We will not look backward to what we were, but forward to what we can be. CSI is changing the story from what we are not to what we will be. We will be a center for innovation. We will elevate our profession, and we will create a better sense of community. And we will do this together, creating our shared future. It is true that we write documents, contracts, and specifications. We take other people's concepts, imagine these as images, and translate those images into drawings and words so they can be built into projects that serve society. This is the Delaware Innovation Space, a deep technology accelerator and incubator that offers a variety of laboratory spaces for startup companies to help progress their therapies or product innovations towards commercialization. It is also a workforce development space. The companies that lease space here employ and train workers in performing laboratory research, which puts folks to work in good, high-paying jobs. I'm proud to have been involved in the renovations that created the spaces you see today. I played a small role in a much larger project team, but this is the work CSI members do. We take an idea for new, renovated spaces and turn that into reality. We know that some projects will continue to rely on Word documents and PDF files just as this one did, but we also know this is a slowly fading process of accessing data in the office and in the field. Technology has changed the way we design. Computer-aided drafting, building information and modeling software, and virtual reality, to name a few. These have made it much easier to bridge between vision and reality, creating unique and complex shapes and convey information in ways that we have never seen before. And these allow construction professionals to communicate those visions to our clients and customers in new and exciting ways. The future, whether it's technology, techniques, or team structures, is difficult to conquer. You master one item and two more quickly appear. No one person can know all of it. That's why CSI exists. CSI is the forum for knowledge transfer inside and outside project teams to drive project delivery. CSI is the forum to help you find the solutions you need and find them more quickly. We are on a mission to ensure that you can connect to who you need, what you need, and when you need it, so your project, and every project, is designed, documented, and built right the first time. You no doubt know the story of three people who were asked what they are doing while working with stone. One says, "I'm building a wall." One says, "I'm just trying to feed my family." And the third says, "I am building a cathedral." That's what you do. You build cathedrals. And you are directly having an impact on the health, safety, and welfare of those who live, work, and play in the cathedrals you are building. You are the reason buildings are safe and why they have emotional appeal. The built environment around which our lives center, that's your work. I had a professor in college tell me that we picked the hardest profession because everyone was born in a building, lives in a building, works and goes to school in buildings. But each of us experience buildings differently, interact with them differently, consume them differently. For that reason and many others, construction is a deeply human endeavor. You impact the health, safety, and welfare of people who use our buildings. You impact how we feel, how we work, live, and learn. Making the built environment is also a social enterprise. It takes place within the context of a community. Ideas are developed in collaboration and tested and evaluated by peers and colleagues. CSI is so much more than specifications. Only 15% of CSI's membership self-identifies with the word specifications in their job title. The building trades are multidisciplinary. CSI is also multidisciplinary. At its best, CSI can serve as a tremendous catalyst for community and thus for the profession itself. We have the ability to connect people and ideas, and by equipping and growing and serving this community, CSI can be part of one of the most consequential projects imaginable to advance our understanding of the built environment in ways that significantly benefit humanity. Given all this, how can construction specifications be seen as both obsolete and essential? As long as we care about quality of materials and workmanship, we will have specifications in some form. As long as we have lawyers, we will also have specifications that can be consumed and understood. And it is our job as your professional organization to bridge that gap between the incorrect perceptions of our past and the current emerging and dynamic realities of the art and science of our work. You ensure the function of our built environment, but you also tap into that emotional connection as well, that intuitive sense of experiencing architecture, public spaces, and living in safety and enjoyment. It's not just an intellectual understanding you have, but a connection between the user and the space itself in an emotional, felt sense. You understand our very human relationship to the built environment around us. With your help, we want to evolve our occupations and respond to the changing needs of human society. We just need to step up to the challenge, believing we are capable of it, and we are, together. And we need to tell stories about your work that captivate the public's imagination. We will increasingly be putting the spotlight on you, our members, on your work, and on the ways in which you are changing the world. That's why I'm standing here in one of my projects today. This is the start of putting that spotlight on you, CSI's members. It's been said to me that some of your deepest and most enduring relationships have been because of your engagement with CSI, that someone welcomed you into a chapter or mentored you or challenged you, opening a door to a far wider world. That is my CSI story. Someone asked me to join, took me to a chapter meeting, and showed me the networking and education CSI offers in our local chapters. I started this speech with a story about being nervous as recession and the economy placed my future and livelihood in doubt. And while it is true there were opportunities created or problems solved because you helped, there's something even more important about being part of CSI, a sense of belonging. Joining and staying with an association is more than a transaction. It's throwing down with your tribe, lifting yourself and others around you, and being connected, especially now when most of our days are spent connecting through screens. I'm hoping to connect with each of you today through this screen, but I also hope for the day I can talk with you face to face and discuss our shared future together. Recruiting others into CSI happens because someone cares enough to help someone starting out or helping a person in transition. And passing your knowledge on is one of the most important things your association can support. This coming year, you will see many new initiatives developed by and with dedicated volunteers. Practice guides, study guides, new learning content, updated standards and formats, and revitalized certifications, all made possible because of your contributions. Perhaps we have our differences about how we want things done at CSI, but there can be no doubt that we are all here to ensure we are connected and welcomed into a diverse and inclusive community dedicated to helping others succeed. And there's no place more important to support those connections than at the chapter level. The board and I continue to support efforts like the Dynamic Chapter Program and are developing other initiatives to make it easier for chapters to focus on what they do best, connecting and learning locally. The board of directors and I, alongside CSI leadership and staff, stand to say CSI is here for you. We are all facing a new, unknown future. And together we can create a future in which you are always at the table, your expertise is sought out, your questions are welcomed, and you benefit daily from being an active member of CSI. The future is not a place we will go together, it is a place we will create together. So please join me and let's get to work. You're up, Mark.
Thanks, Marvin. Great message. Okay. During the early months of the COVID-19 shutdown this year, I told the story of William Sundquist, a friend, CSI member, and board member, about how one day he found his dining room furniture in his backyard. And not because he put it there, mind you, but because it had gotten sucked out of the living room window during a tornado. And get this, while he was in the house. Unable to live at home, a fellow CSI member helped him gather his things, and he settled into a months-long stay at a local DoubleTree. Of course, all of this happened with the concern of catching the coronavirus top of mind. And after he assured me he was okay, my next question was, what next? He said, we move on. That question, what next, stuck with me. At the time, I and many others, like you, thought we'd soon be returning to a more normal life at home and at work, that COVID-19 would be in our rearview mirror. Instead, COVID continues to impact us for the foreseeable future. Social and political unrest affect us domestically and globally. We see tectonic shifts in workplace habits, all the while living through record weather and fire events. Each day brings new and seemingly insurmountable challenges, yet you and your colleagues persevere in the face of these many crises and reinforce that sense of community so eloquently described by Marvin. But you can see why I might be reluctant to ask, what next again? In fact, for me as a wearer of glasses, the phrase connecting to 2020 vision might be one we'd all like to see go away right about now. In support of the vision just laid out by Marvin, CSI has 4 primary answers to that question. What's next? Keeping you connected, enlarging professional development and certification opportunities, supporting chapters, and standards and technological leadership. Let me say just a few words about each of these. First, keeping you connected. CSI Connect, the COVID-19 response team hosted by CSI Fellows, online study groups, and discussion forums are all designed to connect you to peers who can help you navigate personal and professional challenges. At a national level, we're working closely with chapters to help them adapt to the virtual world that has accelerated and been forced upon them in order to keep you connected locally. The CSI Foundation identified an opportunity to empower the next generation of female builders, given the fact that only 10% of those employed in this industry are women. The foundation teamed up with the Greater Lehigh Valley chapter and the Let's Build Construction Camp for Girls to support this opportunity. Through your donations and continued support, the foundation sponsored the program this year and is developing tools to show other chapters how to create similar programs in your own backyard, connecting you to the next generation of builders through the Build Like a Girl campaign going on right now. Second, professional development and certification. CSI stakeholders are contributing to free and low-cost content through the CSI Learning Library to enable your professional development and support CSI learning units for certification renewal. This is brand new. In the last few months alone, CSI launched a new Specs 101 series, new content to make it easy for you to get CSI learning units, the new project delivery practice guide, and study workbooks for certification. Upcoming are the contract administration practice guide and even more individual study aids to combine with resources to help instructors prepare others for exam. Learning domains for the CDT, CCS, and CCCA were updated this past year. The Certified Construction Specifier and Certified Construction Contract Administrator were relaunched, and the Certified Construction Product Representative credential is being retooled. To make access to exams easier, lowest cost pricing was extended, exam windows modified, and new options are in place to take in-home exams or at COVID-safe testing centers. We revived reporting to let you know how you fared when tested against each knowledge domain. Plus, we created new digital badging to promote your credentials. All of these innovations are designed to help you expand, prove, and promote your knowledge and skill. Third, connecting you in chapters. Slowly but surely, we'll come together again face to face, and the best place to do that will be CSI chapters. After all, as Marvin said, chapters are where relationships are made and our community is made stronger. Dynamic chapters are at the heart of CSI. Your board of directors enabled us to fund staff, training, and resources to support more in the way of virtual events and face-to-face events when we all come back together in order to focus the entire organization, national, regions, and chapters to give you the value and network you deserve. Finally, standards and technological leadership. Standards and formats built by CSI members have been at the core of this organization for decades. Releasing Master Format 2020 as a book and Excel spreadsheet doesn't go far enough. That's why, on behalf of our members and the whole AECO community, we created Crosswalk, a new and dynamic tool for efficient, effective sharing of information based on the organizing principles of Master Format, Uniformat, and OmniClass. Crosswalk is the future state of what our CSI forebears imagined. The global electronic Rosetta Stone of construction information made possible because of CSI's unique position as a not-for-profit association with a mission to serve our profession and our industry. And Crosswalk, the digital transmission of CSI standards and formats into design and construction software, is only the beginning. Work is already underway to connect product information so the entire project team can be more effective, manage risk better, and work efficiently on a global scale. Without you, the CSI member, none of this happens. Crosswalk is a big step toward combating the pervasive myth that the field of construction specifications is old and irrelevant, because it underscores that we are more focused on creating our future than preserving our past. We can lead the way in revamping the image of the AECO industry to attract young talent and those changing careers by promoting the things that link us to the innovation sector: design thinking, cross-functional teams, individual empowerment, and an emphasis on learning and deploying the latest technologies. This innovation gives us a seat at the table with decision makers as a resonant and future-facing association. More to the point, we're in competition with the technology sector and Wall Street for the best and brightest professionals because the building trades are seen as old school, beset by a lack of diversity and often low job security because of the cyclical nature of the industry. CSI can and must do its part to help this industry embrace technology, the very technology that will drive communication, efficiency, productivity, safety, and the ability to hire the best emerging professionals. Your lives and your work are changing. You deserve a professional society that is doing more than keeping pace with these changes. You deserve a CSI that is leading the way. This means we are diverse and inclusive, not just in terms of professions, but that we're intentional and committed to develop a wider range of professionals and leaders in the AECO space. As Adrienne Clarkson, former Governor General of Canada, put it, each of us is carving a stone, erecting a column, or cutting a piece of stained glass in the construction of something much bigger than ourselves. That's why we are speaking to you here from the Delaware Innovation Space, to make the point that we build with a purpose and to illustrate the impact of your work and that of every CSI member to benefit society. These 4 areas I just outlined, keeping you connected, enlarging professional development and certification opportunities, supporting chapters, and developing standards and technological leadership, support the vision for CSI expressed by Marvin. CSI is a center for innovation. CSI elevates your profession. CSI creates a stronger community. Your work and CSI's work are vital to the health, safety, and welfare of all who interact with the built environment. We all bear a huge responsibility, and we are all up to that task. It is a difficult time, and it is an exciting time. We have some tremendous challenges, and we have a lot of amazing opportunities. So just as CSI members rallied to a fellow member in need following a tornado's destruction, I have no doubt we will all rally to the promise and progress of CSI. And to paraphrase Marvin, our future is not a place we will go together, it is a place we will build together. As your CEO, and on behalf of the entire CSI staff, it is a privilege to serve you and CSI's mission. So, what's next? It's time to get to work, and it's time to build our future together.
During today's conference, CSI will recognize the contributions of our hardworking members. It is especially important for us to recognize the contributions of CSI's corporate partners. CSI corporate partners enable CSI to explore a wide range of topics: cutting-edge technology, building and project innovation, training, and support for certification. Please join us in thanking our platinum level partners: ATAS International, BSD SpecLink, and the Sherwin-Williams Company. To put it simply, we can't take the industry into the future without our corporate partners. That concludes the CSI Annual Business Meeting for 2020. Thank you all for your participation.